You're watching Sex Ed on All Deaf Women, the show where we educate you about sexual health. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the All Deaf Women channel. I am your host, JASMIN Leigh, and my co-host today is the beautiful Jamie Riley.
What's up?
And our amazing guests for this episode are the cannabis queen TOCAHANTAS, who cheated last time I saw her, and the comedian KRISTEN SIVILLS. So, welcome, ladies. I think this is a topic that is all near and dear to our vaginas, and we're going to talk about exploring the clit.
Okay, so we're getting into the sex busters. Okay, so we're going to discuss the myths around today's episode about the clitoris. So the myth is that the clit is just only what you see. And the actual fact about that is that the clitoral organ surrounds the vagina, the anus, and the urethra. So it's all interconnected.
All right, let's get into some facts. The clitoris is actually leagues ahead. I mean, I don't think anyone else is shocked from that. The tiny organ has about 8,000 sensory nerve fibers, which is nearly twice the amount found in the head of the penis. The clitoris glands, the part we see, have more nerve endings than any other area on the human body, yet they still cannot find it. I don't get it.
So touch me nicely.
Yeah.
Right. TOCAHANTAS, I heard through the grapevine that you have some facts that you would also like to share.
Oh, okay. So yes. So sometimes I like to do a little digging of my own. No pun intended. But so when I found, what I was able to find was that everyone teaches us about like a clitoral orgasm, and we all know that, you know, if they touch us the right way or lick us the right way, we'll get to where we need to be. But it goes way deeper than that. And so there's such things as a cervical orgasm. And basically there is a belief that your cervix is actually your second clit.
What?
And so with that, I found that when we're normally having sex, Western society and like, you know, like porn or whatever, they teach us to kind of like poke at the cervix. So it's like almost as if like they're kind of like beating the cervix up, and then they take pride in that, right? Like, oh yeah, I beat it up. However, my bad to anyone. However,
I didn't make that noise in the bed too because they need to go home.
Nah, at least that's unfortunately where my mind goes when I think of like a guy boasting about what he did when in reality he didn't do much, right? But if they rub on your cervix, you have a better chance of having a full body inner orgasm. And so this is called the cervical orgasm, and it's part of like a tantric kind of sex thing where so if it goes back to whenever tantric sex was first studied or created, and we know it goes so far back into hundreds of years, they actually studied this, and they would then gather the secretion, right? Because we let go of some type of juices or liquids when we're having this full body intense orgasm, and they would collect it. And they would then give it to their husbands would then consume it before war, or if they were sick, if they were injured. And so then they were starting to giving it to their warriors or their soldiers that would go out in combat and whatever. This is like long time ago. I'm sure their diets were so different. However, there's more to this, right? And they saw it as the way that we see breast milk. Like we look at breast milk as like gold, right? Right. And to them,
I got plenty of that to share.
So your cervix is a second clit, and do not be embarrassed, I feel like, to take control of whatever situation you're in, and make sure that they're rubbing your cervix, not beating it up for whatever reason.
Not beating. Thank you so
and
much.
If you like that, that's your thing. If that's your thing, you go for it. But try it. I mean, you might like it, right?
I've never said that. Can you rub on it?
4 kids.
Well, you should be rubbing on it.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. You have 4 kids, and
no, it scares me because I have 4 kids. I'm just thinking about when they was checking my cervix. It's like, were they trying to give me an orgasm? Like, I'm thinking about and is that okay? I don't know. But it's fine.
Well, if you came, then maybe it is.
I mean, if it felt good.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I've dabbled more in the lady pool, but I definitely know the rubbing.
Right.
And that's the whole perks of having a lady, nice, gentle hands that know exactly how to rub and give you those clitorials and the cervix orgasms. I don't know why I'm whispering because you guys can still hear me. But if you haven't tried it, take a little walk.
A little
before
stroll.
you know you move on. It's a little stroll over to the lady pool. They'll rub you up right. KRISTEN, you dabble. She's like, I know.
I'm married to a man now, but I mean, I know the difference.
Right. And also when you talk about the cervix, I know KRISTEN and TOCAHANTAS, I don't know if either one of you guys did it, but the perineal massage when you're supposed to be preparing your cervix for delivery. And you like literally get not primrose oil. It was vitamin E, and you go in there and you just rub it and stretch it and get it nice and oily and, ready for a big A head.
Yeah, and I mean that's technically, I mean, we look at it, you're doing it for prenatal reasons, but like that's a tantric massage.
That's
if they continued it a little deeper, right? Hey, if they went a little farther with it, for prenatal reasons, we're just kind of massaging the opening and all around and stuff to make sure you don't rip and everything. But that's technically a tantric massage.
I was so stressed out about an orgasm. Like that scares me now. Now I want to have another baby just to see.
Teach your husband how to do it, or your wife, right? Or whoever, teach your partner how to do it.
Yeah,
they have on Netflix. It's like a whole cult of sex, and but and this is probably another episode too. But they use sex to get to like higher power and stuff like that. So I feel like that would be like on that level of
right. That sounds right.
Well, definitely, you can use sex to help you manifest, but I definitely believe that. So imagine if you're having a cervical orgasm where you're feeling it from the inside of your body, and like that's when you start sweating, everything changes. And so I feel like it's something to try. Why not? And they used to call it nectar of the goddess.
That sounds right.
Women are just so magical. Like we have golden milk, we have golden nectar.
Sacred. It was
sacred nectar. We need to bring that back.
Hello.
Right.
Yes.
That's crazy. And I never heard of that type of massage ever until today.
Well, there's also when I can't think of the exact name of it. When I first moved here, someone I knew used to go to it, and it's like a meditation class, the same thing, and they teach you how to rub your partner to get them to that certain ecstasy, which I feel like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some extra research before this episode comes out, and I'm gonna put it down in the comments because I feel like it probably goes hand in hand with what you're talking about, TOCAHANTAS. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they do. Tantric massages are real. They are legal in certain places, so it could be maybe a couple's tantric massaging class or something, where and there's different kinds of tantric massages, and there's different variations and stuff. And it's so crazy because like back then they used to study how to make us orgasm. Now it's like they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a
What happened to me?
They don't
They don't teach that in porn. They don't show that.
Well, what do they teach in porn? I don't know. They have a porn class.
They're just ramming each other in porn. They don't show anything as far as I don't know. Hey, let's massage her here for a little while.
You kind of can find it on if you're watching porn. You have to type in romantic sex.
They're never.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I would love if that. I hate porn because it's so nasty and rough. And if I could find romantic porn, I would love to watch. I love watching live sex because it's when regular people are having sex, they're not doing the absolute most and doing all that spitting and stuff.
Right.
But if I could find some romantic porn, that would be my thing.
I like watching the storyline because I want to see the build up, but I don't want it. I want it to be nasty after we built it up. I don't care about.
I don't like watching
getting to the point.
Yeah.
I get to the point. I'm like, you see that little dot? I'm like, okay, 6 minutes, 78 seconds. Boom, right there.
No
Showtime.
Jamie.
It's
Straight to the
showtime.
climax.
But you
Oh,
know
what's
what's
he doing
crazy
here?
though?
This looks
Because usually like in the porn too, like, and I don't know if I can like really say this, but they're like sucking dick for like fucking like 5-6 minutes. And I'm like, when
And
it's
your
like
mouth would hurt.
switched, it's like 40 seconds.
No, that's a swimmer. She's trained to breathe like that. That's not real.
That's a swimmer?
Well, she's a professional.
Right, but then he just kind of,
He's
lifts
doing it
it
for
a little
40
2
seconds.
times, and then
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she
it's
must
like,
be
all right,
ready.
it's ready. It's really not.
It's not.
really not.
It's really, really not. Well, on a different episode, we were talking about like steaming, and
the yoni steaming.
Yeah, and she was talking about how the woman takes about 45 minutes just to even get like together and warm and like stimulated, like 45 minutes. And it's just like, men, a lot of people don't know that. I just learned that.
Apparently,
y'all gotta start at the end of dinner. Like, you gotta start at the dinner table. Continue on the way home. Like,
my husband found out about the 45 minutes, and then he asked me how many have I faked, because I was like, no, we hear all the time, and it was immediate. And then I was like, okay, so at least 30% of them I faked.
We gotta stop faking, ladies.
It's not helping anyone.
It's okay.
At all.
It's
and you know what? The 45 minutes thing is so crazy, because I was talking with one of my girlfriends, and hopefully she gets on this show. And she was talking about how she was so tired sometimes in having sex. When you're having sex with a woman, it's like, you're going for all this time, and now it's like, okay, now it's my turn for all this time. And then next thing you know, it's been 24 hours, and you know, your day's gone.
You lucky.
Where can I sign up?
Yeah, that's one thing.
That's a DM conversation, Jamie. But do you want to get into? Do you guys want to get into some sex stories?
Sure.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that.
Yes.
So
set us up, Jamie, for some sex stories.
Yeah. So miss the clit. Okay. Each of us are going to tell us a story where we've been intimate with a person and they had no idea what they were doing with the clit specifically. And I don't know who wants to go first, but I can go first if you want.
You go ahead.
Okay, so
She's excited to tell.
I am. I'm like, finally, someone asked me this question. Man, it happened in college, and we're younger, I guess, and he just didn't know what he was doing, and it's just kind of frustrating because you're obviously switching positions, and you're like really excited, and they just don't know what they're doing, and you're just like, stop, so after a while I finally had to show him, literally be like, okay, I need you to focus right here. You see it, you feel it, rub it. I taught him how to do it because I was just like, but this is not it. It is not.
You have so much patience.
Well, I wanted to be faithful. So it was like,
yes, girl.
I need you to learn this. But I will say, when it comes to past other partners, I haven't really wanted to teach anyone else after that because I'm like, okay, we're grown.
Don't teach no one.
Yeah, now we're grown. But in college, I didn't mind because I was like, okay, it's a learning curve. We're all new here, unless you're like,
oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
we're all new here.
We're all new here.
Good. I think
so.
Yeah, you did so good. That was godsend. He's talking about you from years later.
Points.
He's like, yo, this one girl from college, she had to show me. I'm a beast now.
You know what? He probably owes you some coins or something because I'm sure he gets women all the time if he knows where the clit is.
He's probably so confident. Okay.
Now, because he's like, oh, nah, someone sat me down and told me the game. I'm good. I learned from a woman. Where'd you learn from?
Right.
But I think it's okay to teach, though, because everyone has different points. Everybody's not aroused by the same thing. So you kind of have to let them know what pleased you. If they don't get it after that, then that's their fault. But I think
we all look different, too. So it's not like, we all look different. So you might have to do, it was someone said a little digging. I forgot who said that. I think it was Jasmine when he said do a little digging or something. That is so funny. But yeah, you kind of do. Each body is different.
Yeah, everybody's different.
I always give 3 times, because the first time you have sex with somebody, you may be drunk and it might be amazing, and then the next time it's not, or it might really suck because you're drunk. And then the second time it's kind of like awkward because it's like, okay, now we kind of maybe like each other. It's not just like a random night. And then that third time, that's when you find out, okay, are we gonna be rocking or not? And that's my theory, that we, because I'm not a teacher either, but if by the third time you kind of figure it out, if not, then I'm gonna move on. Because I'm a real bold person, but I guess I'm not bold enough to tell somebody that they're doing it wrong. I'm just gonna move on. I really am. I'm not gonna have that patience that you had, Jamie. Yeah, I'm just not. And it's crazy. It's gonna be, most of the men that have given me head have missed the clit. It's only one guy, who I'm not gonna say his name, but one guy that actually was like the best head ever. And he did amazing. So I really just would need to give him his flowers, because
what's his name?
I cannot saying his name, but he wasn't anybody that I dated.
He was a legend.
When I tell you,
he want to be a legend.
Listen, if he sees this, he'll probably know it was him because I said it. Because literally, like, men will go down there and it's just like, just come on up. It's like, it's a waste of time. I'd rather you not even do it. Even with straight women, like I had went through a thing where I just like kept messing with straight women in college, and they suck at giving head. I just was like, you know what, just be a pillow princess, and because I'm not gonna come if you're down there. I'm just gonna be upset. So just come on up and let me do what I do, and let's move on. But yeah, shout out to you, mystery guy. And sorry, all my lesbian people that I probably like just failed. I had a baby and I said a guy gave the best head. I'm gonna lose my freaking rainbow stripes.
No, you just gonna get challenges. Oh yeah, a guy, I can do better than that. Your DM about to light up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. I've had some guy lick the wrong part, and then I remember at one point, like, he kind of like bit me. But it hurt more than it felt good. It did not feel good. And like, I'm older now. I've had someone like kind of like maybe try to nibble or be cute about it, and it didn't hurt. No, that shit hurt. I was like, did you bite me? And I think that was like the worst part. I was like a senior in high school or some shit. I was in high school, and so we were young. But
the fact that he even went down there in high school, he should get, some kind of credit.
All right, yeah,
he gets no credit
though, so like, the fuck? I don't know about all the credit. Like, damn, what was that? That was not cute.
He gets no credit.
I didn't do any type of oral sex in high school. I was like, I didn't have sex. I was damn near out of high school, and I just thought oral sex is like the worst thing that you could do.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, why?
I was in a long-term relationship.
Because of what? Okay, I didn't. I was a little sheltered, shall I say. Yeah. I didn't watch rated R movies. I didn't really know a lot about sex. All I really knew about is what I heard in the cafeteria. And I just know every time in the cafeteria, if someone gave head, like, they were talked about so bad. So I'm like, head can't possibly be a good thing to do. I don't want to be talked about.
Wow.
We had an incident at my high school where a girl gave the whole baseball team head in the dugout. And they talked so much shit about her, but I was like, she's a hero. That's how I looked at her.
A hero.
She literally took one for the team. Like, crazy. That was crazy. But
hero is a different type of word I would describe that.
She was ahead of her time.
Right.
I cannot imagine giving head to any two guys at the same. My mouth would hurt.
It's a lot going on. It's like, all right.
Trying to be stretching.
Just waiting.
That's like,
no, that's too much. Get this shit out of my face.
Literally.
You don't see I'm busy? Like, no, I can't.
I would be mad if everybody else, like, what are y'all doing? Y'all just sitting over there eating snacks, just waiting your turn. Like, what are you
waiting?
Doing?
Like,
just looking.
No, I'm tired. Go get some water. Like, come on.
I'm sure they didn't give her no water. But you know, it probably didn't last that long if it was high school. It was probably like minute.
She probably licked them.
I don't know. She said they were baseball players. They're athletes.
Yeah, you're right.
What does that mean?
Yeah, but
They're
she
built
wasn't sucking dick
different.
till they finished. She licked a couple of them and kept it moving, and they were like, "Oh, I got my dick licked under the
She
thing."
might have
It was
just
fine.
did one.
I went to a different type of high school.
That's what I'm saying.
'Cause they were
Not going down
abnormally
the
very
line.
much.
Yo.
So, Kristen, do you have a sex story?
Of someone not knowing what to do with the clit. I think it was more, I had a guy with just actual sex, like just had no idea. Like he was like rubbing his dick on my, and then I was like, that's not working. And then he tried to like go in and then like pounded my pelvis, but I broke my pelvis in a car accident, so none of that felt good at all.
Oh my God, you're poor. Oh my God.
And then he was like, I guess this is not gonna work. And he went down there and it was just a lot of like, it's extra. Like, I guess men don't understand. You kind of have to be gentle with it and you can't just go in full speed, like just blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. Like you have to kind of, like you said, warm it up for 45 minutes or whatever. I mean, I'm just
like
talking
a
about
cold
the end.
day.
Like, yeah. But like, it was just a lot of just speedball on the clit, and I was like, that's not doing anything for me, but making me itch a little bit because it's weird. Like,
and his penis was probably dirty if you were itching.
Oh, it was also small. So
well, it's just all the friction, right? She wasn't wet enough. Like,
nothing. Like
I honestly would rather a smaller.
And that's not good because you can actually have small tears if you're not wet enough when you're having sex.
Oh yeah.
So that's why she's saying like, oh, it made her itch. He probably gave her micro tears, and that's what was irritating her, which felt like an itch because it's not a real tear, like it's not a real gash. Exactly. So it was like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. And then after that, it was probably like super warm to the touch. Like, yeah, it's micro tears. You have to be very lubricated. Yeah. And like you said, warm up. Men think that they could just ram in there and get
Why
going.
do they
like,
think that?
No. Whoa.
Because their father's
it down.
Because of porn.
Yeah, they see it on porn.
Oh.
Like,
okay. And maybe they should be, I don't know. Like, I feel like when my daughter gets of age, I'm gonna like really like, she's probably gonna hate it, but I'm really gonna like have a sex talk. Like, not just like as far as like, you know, the birds and the bees, but like, okay, this is, you know, maybe, I feel like I didn't talk about it and I didn't know what I wanted forever. And these men obviously don't know what they're doing because their fathers don't sit there and talk to them because they don't freaking know because their fathers don't know. So it's like, I feel like something needs to change.
Yeah, I feel
people
like
will be a lot happier.
Go ahead. I feel like sex ed talk will continue as you grow, right? Like you start seeing with someone that's little, you tell them the basics. And like you said, as your kid gets older, then it's like, all right, hey, here's the extra detail. I know you know about the basics, but make sure he's not doing this. And
exactly.
And like you said, fathers. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a sex podcast, and my daughter has heard the conversation, so I think she's ready to go. But
podcast.
I'm not okay with that. But I'm just saying, I think she has enough knowledge that I don't want to see her face to face and actually talk to her about it.
Okay, I got you.
Well, that can be a little awkward too.
It is.
I'm sure it is. I mean, so I told my mother I was hanging out with someone, and then we ended up getting in an argument. And then I was like, blah, 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 blah. And when we had sex, my mom was like, I didn't know y'all were having sex. I said, Mom, I said we were hanging out. She's like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, well, what do you think you're doing at hanging out at 34? Like, I'm not just, whatever.
34, yeah. Like, I mean, we're grown here, Mom. Like, yeah.
Super grown.
Right. But you know, that's why this wonderful show Sex Ed is here, so that we can teach you ladies, and hopefully some men are listening too, so they know where to find the clit next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below, and follow All Deaf Women for this and so many more amazing shows. And I am Jasmine Leigh.
I'm Jamie Riley.
I'm KRISTEN SIVILLS.
I'm TOCAHANTAS.
And we'll see you guys next time.